The agricultural sector in Africa contributes to over 30% in revenue to the GDP of African countries and employs over 60% of the total workforce, making the sector a force to reckon with in the developing continent. This is according to statistics from the Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa, FARA. For Africa to undergo economic transformation, this sector holds the key to success through actively engaging youth who account for over 70% of the active workforce and 50% of women who engage in agriculture.
Agriculture is at a stage where it's no longer attractive to the youth, and many people are not seeing the good side of agriculture. They are looking at the production aspects without looking at where the real interest, and the real money is coming from.
In 2010, FARA introduced a unique program called UniBrain, which stands for Universities, Business and Research in Agricultural Innovation. The program's focus is on enabling these institutions to commercialize agricultural technologies and produce graduates with entrepreneurial skills in a bid to scale up productivity in the sector while at the same time improving livelihoods.
The whole story of FARA's mandate is actually facilitating the uptake of research and innovation and to ensure that we're able to deliver this where it matters. That's in the hands of the last man in the last mile. And the whole concept of UniBrain is actually an innovative way of doing things that we've always done.
Resolution by African Union to turn around this sector helped UniBrain get support from the Royal Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, DANIDA, to seek ways on how universities, research and the private sector can cohesively work together towards creating sustainable agribusinesses which are key drivers of transformational agriculture.
UniBrain was initiated basically as a result of the study of the African Union Commission, which established that there is a big gap between African universities, the private sector, and research in delivering towards economic transformation, particularly looking at job and wealth creation. And basically that gap led into the establishment of UniBrain that looks at connecting the three key value chain actors to work towards the challenges that we are earmarked within the value chain towards job and wealth creation.
Under the UniBrain program, 6 pilot agribusiness innovation incubators were set up across the African continent. 2 in Uganda, 1 in Kenya, Zambia, Ghana and Mali, made possible through partnerships with governments in these countries that provided land for setting up of incubation centers, where graduates and entrepreneurs undergo mentorship on how to successfully run agribusinesses through value addition to farm produce on the back of adopting innovative technologies along the various agricultural value chains.
If you look at it carefully, anything that can be properly implemented, to add on to impact or transformation is about 4 things. It's about ensuring that the farmer at the bottom of the ladder or the farmer who is producing have access to technology. It's about ensuring that that technology, there is a change agent to support that process. And then it's about ensuring that the technology can be developed in the first place that suits the demand of that farmer. And it's about ensuring that policy provides the regulatory framework to make it sustainable.
With UniBrain being a business-focused model, like any other elevator pitch, incubators and incubatees have to prove viability of their businesses. So what does agribusiness incubation entail?
We first get started by getting the incubatees on board. So we normally do an advertisement, they apply. While they apply, we have a committee that sits down, evaluates all the proposals that they send. And for those we think they have a nice business idea that can be converted into sustainable business, we normally organize for oral interviews. So they come and pitch their business to the committee. Then the committee evaluates both what we evaluated during the proposal development and also from the oral interviews, and they pick what they think can translate into a business.
In line with this incubation process, Unibrain has achieved several milestones. To start with, in Uganda, the Consortium for Enhancing University Responsiveness to Agribusiness Development CCARDESA. This was established to specifically focus on products along the coffee value chain. It mentors students under a Learn as you earn program while closely working with universities and research firms on how to improve the sector.
CCARDESA was conceptualized to capture the essence of agribusiness in the country by getting the youth and the graduates from the institutions, the research and innovation coming out of Naro and Makerere, to have an institutional body where they can be nurtured into successful enterprises, thereby getting the fruits of innovation and research to benefit the farmer and provide jobs and incomes, basically for the growth of the country.
We meet some of the SMEs and graduates to give us insights on how they have benefited from this program.
Before I started this project, which is the program of Earn as You Learn project, we were just ordinary students at campus. We were not doing much. So when we heard of this opportunity from CCARDESA, so I wrote a proposal, and it was funded by CCARDESA. Then we started running this project, the broiler project. And so far, this is the second batch. The first batch we had 750 birds, and we sold them. Now this is the second batch with 500 birds. So far we have benefited financially and also the experience on how to run a poultry project.
We are getting students or graduates that have that entrepreneurial mind, that they are not simply waiting to be told of what to do, but innovatively they are coming up with business ideas which today we are able to nurture and mature into real businesses, creating jobs. As I speak to you now, we have many jobs that we have created. We have been able to empower farmers into global markets because we do export coffee, we do process coffee. We have even gone ahead to invest into infrastructure. We see now staff with the necessary soft skills which they did not have, which was a serious problem, because when you are talking about smallholder farmers, you need to have the necessary skills to mobilize them to become, export ready.
Another interesting beneficiary is a group of 6 young and energetic Bachelor of Commerce students that we met, who decided to explore the business of making liquor, but this time using coffee.
We had the challenge of bringing up a very brand new product from coffee. Now we have coffee tea, we have other coffee products, coffee flavored cake, but we didn't have anything new. So we're like, what can we do? And there comes up this idea, alcohol from coffee. Coffee, beer, resources are beyond our capability. So we had to let that go. Then we thought of coffee liqueur. And since the advice was readily available, we had to go for it.
Still in Uganda, Unibrain set up the AfriBanana Products Limited ABP, whose focus is on staple foods, specifically introducing technologies along the banana value chain. A key produce in Uganda with enormous earnings potential which remains largely untapped. ABP is currently focusing on 6 technologies along this value chain, which include making products such as banana juice, banana wine, banana crafts and jewelry. AfriBanana has gone a step further to produce biodegradable gift bags from banana fiber and charcoal briquettes from banana peelings, going to show Unibrain's support to climate change and commercializing of the renewable energy.
Well, the thinking about the startup of AfriBanana products is to really bridge the gap between the innovations that happen at the universities and the private sector. Our thinking was that there are many innovations that are prepared, discovered, made at the universities by students at undergraduate and also graduate level, which remain at the university. Now, we realized that the students were actually leaving their businesses at the university and going into the streets to look for jobs. So we decided to have these innovations unpacked and then commercialized through our incubation model.
From Excel's perspective, since 1999 when we started, we have seen this grow from year after year. Since we started engaging with Free Banana Products Limited, we have seen even the numbers soaring, because initially Excel was offering one product, Free Banana is offering 6 of those products. And this brings in more youth, more incubators, more SMEs, more interns from universities to look at these technologies. Our niche has been more into the job creation, because I think that is the area that we are not only lacking in Uganda, but also in the entire of Africa.
Enterprises like Afri Jewelry and Red Star Wines in Uganda are already recording tremendous growth in their businesses.
ABP found us producing wine at a very small capacity, but they have helped us by giving us some materials, production materials basically, which has actually enabled us to move a step, because formerly we were doing like about 600 liters per week, but now we are able to produce 1,200. The 600 could not actually satisfy our customers, but now we are able to actually reach the customers, and those customers are able to get the products that they used not to get. In other words, our customer base has actually increased.
Before I joined the BP program, I was making beads from my home, but when I joined ABP, I was supported with a fund, and it helped me to come on board in terms of production. I increased on my production, and during that period, I attended a training course somewhere in China about handcrafts making. So I looked at it as instead of producing only beads or jewelry, I could do more than that.
LBP has given me more connections, and on top of more connections, it has provided me with the skills I need. That means the right persons have been there for me to guide me on how to make a quality product.
Beyond the new technologies, access to markets, value addition and business created along the banana value chain. Like other incubators, this model directly impacts livelihoods on not only the incubatees but also their employees.
Before I joined Doreen, I had no job. But when I joined Doreen, she encouraged me to explain my talents. So I got an idea to make beads, bead bags, and other products. So now I got some money to support my family.
Crossing borders to Uganda's neighbor Kenya, the Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium SVCDC was set up. Hosted by the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. SVCDC specializes on smallholder dry food grains, specifically looking at the sorghum value chain. They guide agribusiness entrepreneurs on business management skills and making sorghum-based products such as pastries and animal feeds.
Once we started this incubator, there were no other incubators around, and I think there has been a very good message being passed from the incubators we have to maybe those who would be potential incubators. They are being able to tell them the kind of service they are able to get from the incubator. And we have receiving even so many walk-ins, even without doing an advert. One of the unique things with this model is you work with these incubators. You work with them. They have these challenges, you work with them to solve these challenges. And also the issue of internship, where you need to have interns from the university, they come into board, you trigger them to become entrepreneurs. From there, they become potential incubators, you incubate them, and maybe once they clear the university, they are not looking for jobs. They are able to employ even their colleagues and able to make their own money and also create employment for themselves.
Already, the SVCDC has made headways in influencing universities' curriculum with new courses app on offer and the interns on board who are equally eager to learn about agripreneurship.
Considering that we run the Agricultural Economics and Rural Development Department, We've been able to learn quite a lot from the SVDC, or the Sorghum Value Chain Incubator. First, the university is benefiting in curriculum review and curriculum development. The view that we've been able to develop new program for postgraduate studies. That is one, MSc in Agribusiness Management, and two, MSc in Applied Economics. And these two are based on the program which we worked with ANAFE. And NAFE was quite instrumental in setting the sense for the production of the programs, and we've been able to borrow over 90% of what they are, between 80 and 90% based on the program, based on the ANAFE model. We have customized to fit within the university requirements, and this has gone through the university systems where the faculty has accepted what we proposed, and now soon we'll be forwarding this to QA, or the Commission of University Education within Kenya.
I hope that with the skills that I'll acquire from here, we'll be able to incorporate sorghum in production of baked goods that will be able to be sold out there. And one day we could open even a sorghum incorporated production of baked and confectionery products.
Crossing borders to Zambia, the Agribusiness Incubation Trust AGBIT. This was set up as another unique incubator which focuses on tropical fruits and vegetables, transferring modern technologies and agricultural practices to SMEs, graduates and smallholder farmers.
This is the first agribusiness incubator in Zambia, made up of a consortium of public and private institutions, which was established to support the growth of the agribusiness sector in Zambia, particularly by incubating or nurturing small and medium business enterprises and startup companies that have good innovations with potential to achieve significant scale in terms of growing those businesses. So our responsibility as a business incubator is to identify these innovations and provide business development support in order to increase their capacity to do business.
Being the first agribusiness incubator in Zambia, similar to other incubators, AGBIT is not only training SMEs on agribusiness management, but is also creating strategic partnerships with research firms, markets and universities, all aimed at increasing productivity of the sector.
We looked at what AGBIT is doing and what NRDC is doing. And we said if they came on board, then NRDC can be pushed up. Yeah, because as you can see, these dilapidated greenhouses, this is not the way we use greenhouses. But in the MOU, we have agreed that, well, AGBIT can put up greenhouses where they can do their activities. And those activities they will be doing, NRDC can be part of it, because we have agreed that there are certain things that they will be inviting NRDC to be on board. Students also will be invited. There's what they are calling N as you learn, and that's specifically for students. So students will be engaged, they will be doing